Oh my god, look at me. Hi, welcome to the Potager podcast, nighttime edition. This is my Pride nighttime edition. Check out my mug. My wife got it for me for Christmas. My hair's a little greasy. I just got out of the bath and I'm wearing this and a t-shirt and some men's underwear under here because I'm a queer ass mess. But I got this mug full of rum and it has butts on it. It has soda in it too. But anyway, it's nighttime. I've tried to film this video multiple times and I keep getting interrupted, so I'm just gonna do it now. There went my cat. Most of my videos from now until for a while are probably going to be these like one take kind of things, just because I'm a mess right now and I don't have time to edit videos. I don't have emotional time to edit videos, if that makes sense. I still want to continue to get better at editing videos, but it's just not in the cards right now. I'm going to try to make this quick because I have a Lunchable waiting for me, and now I don't know where I put it. It's here. This is my Friday night right now. I had a really good poke bowl, but I didn't eat enough today, and I'm still hungry. And this is supposed to be my wife's, and I'm just going to get her another one because I need it right now. It's the kind that has the dessert pizza. I'm gonna eat it and I'm gonna buy her another one tomorrow. I've been drinking and I shouldn't drive, so I'm just gonna eat what's in the house. And we're gonna go shopping tomorrow and I'll get her a new one. I promise, Becca, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad it's Friday. All right, let's get to it. I'll ramble later because I have time. Finished objects. So for finished objects, I'm gonna start with this one. This is my Peaks beanie. I've taken many pictures of it, put it on Instagram. I finished it a couple weeks ago, but I just haven't filmed like a decent video in a couple weeks, so it's just been sitting here waiting for me to film. But yeah, it is the Peaks beanie. It's got a cute little pom-pom. I got this whole bag of pom-poms the other day when I was traipsing around on Amazon. I really like these faux fur ones. I do want to learn how to make like actual pom-poms, so I did get one of these little sets of little pom-pom makers, and I think I'm gonna make a little like string of them to hang up at work, but I like these on top of my hat. So yeah, what ends are weaved in. Fuck it, my hair's such a mess. Who cares? Who even cares? There, a little bit of hair. Does that help? It doesn't help. I look like I'm trying to hide the fact that I have hair. It's June. Happy Pride Month, by the way. Next thing that I finished is, this looks silly. I'm not gonna do that to myself. But the next thing that I finished are my Rose City rollers. They kind of reflect how much of a mess that I am. And I'm sorry for this terrible lighting. I just have like a desk lamp shining on my face so that I don't look like I don't have any light on me. But yeah, Rose City rollers. I ran out of yarn. I was playing Yarn Chicken and I ran out of yarn. So as you can see, the end of that one is different colors. And I'm pretty sure the second one's a little shorter than the first one. Just a tad. They're a little small. I rushed them. They're not my favorite socks. I will make more Rose City rollers though. I like the pattern. It was just me being stupid. I didn't have enough yarn. Didn't have enough yarn. I should have done the toes in a different color or the heels or both or something. But instead, hubris. Anyway, next one. This one's kind of hard to show, but it's one of those little kitchen towels that like everyone's grandma has made. I've had this yarn since Christmas, and full disclosure, it came from Hobby Lobby, and I knew how bad Hobby Lobby is, and I don't really ever plan on shopping there again, but I was curious because we had never had one in my area, and went in, and they had the perfect yarn for the bag that I was making. It's like their version of what is it? Peaches and cream. I fucking can't remember what it's called now. The cotton yarn that they sell everywhere. But yeah, so this is their version of like that cotton yarn. I like the speckles. It's pretty. But I'm never going back to Hobby Lobby again, so I didn't really have enough to warrant keeping it in my stash, and I've been trying to de-stash. That's one of my big things that I've been working on. So I made one of these little like kitchen cloth things. It has little loops and buttons. These are the buttons that came in my Darn Good Yarn subscription box from a couple months ago. But yeah, they're pretty. They're a little like iridescent kind of. You can't, this lighting is just not doing it. It's a little multicolored, like just very lightly multicolored. So yeah, this is my terrible dishcloth thing made from shitty yarn from Hobby Lobby. And now I'm gonna wipe my dirty hands on it in the kitchen. Happy Friday. Hope y'all are having a better week than I am. Honestly, it's been awful. Next, I got the Blackberry kerchief done finally. I've been wanting to finish this, and I know I've been complaining about it so much. I did just kind of rally last week and got it done. So it's pretty sparkly. I don't know if this is showing it. I can't see what I'm doing. I went well past what the pattern said size-wise, but it's kind of the perfect size for me, at least. Like how I like my triangle scarves to be. I can say that the edges are a little tight, so like triangle it is not. But it's still a cute little scarf, light and springy. It smells a little weird, because it's that sari silk, but I don't know. I'm glad that it's done. It's done. Curled edges and all. I might try to block it. I might not. Who knows? But it's done. And I like it better now that it's done, and I don't have it on my needles anymore. My size 6s are finally free. Works in progress. I only have 2, but they're 2 completely new things that I haven't talked about before. Or I've talked about them, but I hadn't started them before last episode. I actually completely cleared off my needles and then started 2 new projects. So the first one, I've had this yarn, I want to say for a couple years now in my stash, and it's one of those things where like only within maybe the last 2 years have I like really made an effort to start purchasing more expensive yarn and not just getting the cheapest thing that I could find. So I was kind of hoarding all of the nicer yarn because I was like just buying stuff and then not really having a project for them, and then not wanting to use it on the wrong project because I didn't want to waste it because I spent so much money on it. But this yarn, I finally found its home. It is fingering weight sock yarn from Sheep's Clothing Yarn Company, I believe. And I think it said that they're from Philly, which like is cool. So it's like kind of local to me. It's this pretty like space color. So the base is very dark purple. I know it's kind of hard to see, but the base is very dark purple, and then there's these like shoots of like blue and magenta and purple and white. So it knits up like this, and this is the Scatterbee socks. So yeah, this light is just blowing it out, but yeah, so you can get the little striping in there, and then the like pattern part of the Scatterbee, it just kind of models it a little bit more, I guess. And I really like it. I think it looks really cool. So you can kind of see the contrast of just like what it looks normally knit up, and then this is like the pattern, the pattern of the Scatterbee socks. So yeah, these have been kind of fun to knit. This is definitely going to be a slower sock than the other one, so I'm a little concerned. Like my Rose City Rollers, this is my 2nd pair of socks of the year, and I really want to try to finish the box of socks. So I better get moving on these if I do want to try to do that. But I'm working on another project too, which is the one that I've been talking about a lot, that I bought the yarn for a while ago, and that is my weekender. So I got pretty far. This is a couple days worth of work. Let me see if I can find a good spot. This is a good spot to show you. So Yep, Weekender. It's in this yellow yarn. What is it? Barocco vintage in 5121, whatever that means. I've been using my cute little bee stitch markers with it though, which look how cute that is. Yeah, I like this yellow color. It's really nice. I love yellow. It's my favorite color. So yeah, I have 6 more skeins of it in this box with all of my knitting needles for this project kind of just jammed in there because that's how classy I am. Get with it. Love it. It's me. I need to drink more. So yeah, that's kind of been my straight knitting that I've been doing, especially when I get a little tipsy because it's not complicated. And then let's see if I have all the stuff that I got. Yeah, so I've been going to a lot of craft fairs and admittedly looking for yarn, even though I'm not really trying to buy yarn, but if I like happen to run into some and it's good, I'm not gonna say no. But I have made a rule for myself that I will not purchase any yarn if I don't already have a project in mind, so that I make sure that I have enough of that yarn so that I can do the project, and that I'm not just buying yarn and then it's sitting in my stash, not having enough of it to finish a project. That's seriously one of my biggest problems. So that's my rule. So I've been low-key looking but not looking for yarn. Moral of the story. And most of the craft fairs that I've gone to haven't had any yarn. We do have a couple local yarn stores in our area, but unfortunately the only person who I know consistently came to the places that I go to for like craft fairs moved to New York. So we don't really have like a local yarn dyer that comes to the fairs that I go to, so that's why I'm trying to like expand my horizons a little bit to move out, because I would really like to buy hand-dyed yarn or like hand-spun yarn locally sometimes if I can. Not to say that I won't order stuff online, but I am trying to also support local artists. That's why the one cowl that I made that I posted a while back, and I think I showed it on here, that was made with local yarn, and when I see her again, I will absolutely purchase more of her yarn. But anyway, so they didn't have any yarn, but they did have a lot of vintage places that had stuff that I could like see myself using. I got a couple aprons at the one stand, but those are just like old aprons. But I did get some buttons and this little ruler. So the first thing I got was like $1 for this little vintage ruler from a like fabrics company. It says Discount Fabrics and Sorry Specialist on the back. Nice little 6-inch ruler. It fits right into my project bag. So when I'm working on small stuff like socks or whatever, I'll have a cute little ruler in there. I also keep measuring tape with me most of the time, but I just kind of like the having a little wooden ruler with me thing. So then I got some buttons. This is just a single one. I'll take it out of the bag because it's kind of hard to see without it. They were all priced pretty fairly. I do have a lot of buttons, but they're in jars and they're just kind of plain buttons. So I've been trying to find cute little accent buttons to use with things. So there's this one. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Focus. There you go. So it's pretty. It has kind of like this epoxy-ish finish with flowers inside. So yeah, it's a nice little cutie pie. There's only one of those. I'm gonna put it back in the bag so I don't lose track of it. And then I got these little daisies. There's a 2-pack of those. And then there is a 5-pack of roses. They're pretty cute. So yeah, these are from an antique marketplace that's in my area. And yeah, she had all kinds of buttons, and I talked to her for a little bit, and my wife got a dress from her that unfortunately doesn't fit, but it was cheap. So yeah, I've been going to a lot of craft fairs, and I've been enjoying it and seeing a lot of cool stuff that people in my area are making and supporting them. I got some more artwork. There's this lady in my area that does these really cool pieces of art. I have it right here. Well, this is one of them. I have more of her stuff around here somewhere, but yeah, look at that. Her name is Alice Gardner Bates, and she does these paintings Wish I could find the little guy, because there's a little... Oh, here. I got this one a long time ago from her, and she said she can't get these little frames anymore. But yeah, she does all of these cool, like, lady paintings with, like, guts hanging out. So I like those a lot. They're fun. And I also bought a ring from her that had a little wolf skull, like, thingy on it. It was cool. It's cool. I love it. Trying to think what else I bought. I don't know. Nothing in my immediate area, but yeah, I've just been in general supporting local artists, and it's been nice. So in other news, I mean, work and like fighting with my apartment complex has been hell this week. I literally just want to scream. So glad that it's Friday. I'm, like I said, about to go watch probably some anime and eat this Lunchable and drink this rum and just spend some peace and quiet time by myself knitting my 2 projects. But I did want to tell you about a couple things that are going on that kind of led into me not posting for now 2 weeks. First of all, my fish. The state of his little tank is insane right now, and it's going to be hard to see anyway because of how dark it is. So, not going to show you that today. But I do have the aqua farm. You can I'll show you this. Like the top part, you can see the plants are growing really well on the top. There you go. Yeah. So I have radish. I have radish microgreens and wheatgrass, and then a couple kinds of basil growing on top there. So that's pretty cool. I've been really enjoying having that around. So the other thing was, like I said, I'm fighting with my apartment complex. I really just don't want to live here anymore. But they finally finished painting our building, so I was able to put all my plants back outside. And a lot of them had died, so I had to get more, but I think I'm now at a place where most of my plants that I care about that weren't just kind of like a throwaway experiment should be okay, that they shouldn't perish. They look pretty healthy. I am doing some gardening experiments. I have peas, and I think they're in kind of a shallow container, so I don't know if they're gonna make it. I have bush beans, which I think are in too shallow of a container. I have okra, which I have no idea if it's gonna grow at all, because that last year when I tried to grow okra, it was like, fuck you. Patty pan squash, I'm gonna try. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I have a lot of tomatoes. I think my first tomato is gonna ripen tomorrow on one of my dwarf tomatoes. And I'm trying to think. I have 3 dwarf tomato varieties. I have a cherry tomato variety that is not doing great. It's still growing, but they're really small. I don't know if they're ever going to thrive. I have organic, they're just called organic tomatoes. That's all it said on the package. It didn't tell me what kind. I have heirloom old German tomatoes. I have big something bush Goliath, I think. Is that it? So like 7 or 8 varieties of tomatoes on my balcony. And 4 varieties of peppers, but only 3 of them are actually grown. Ton of herbs. Like I said, squash. Oh, I got a cucumber plant that I'm going to try to grow. So yeah, there's a lot of experiments, but like the tomatoes and peppers, which are the things that I care about the most, are definitely pretty well established and should be cool. So I'm excited about that. I'll probably show that eventually now that it doesn't look as shitty outside, that things are starting to look more alive. And I'll show my fish tank once my fish tank. I need to add more stones to the bottom because I have a real plant and it just keeps floating up to the top because there's not enough holding it down. But I got a mystery snail, which I don't know if you don't know anything about betas, they tend to kill everything that's in their tank. But sometimes you can get away with ghost shrimp because sometimes they have a harder time seeing them, from what I understand. And you can also get away with mystery snails. Now you have to have enough space. You can't just do it in like a bowl. It has to be in a tank, especially the closed top, because snails are slippery, tricky little creatures. Also, betta fish can jump, so you really should have a top on whatever you have your betta fish in. But yeah, my beta so far has not killed the snail. My beta fish's name is... My cat's screaming at me. My beta fish's name is Andromeda, and then I named the snail Gary. So he just keeps screaming, Gary! At the tank, and it's special. I don't see Gary right now. Oh, I do see Gary right now. He's doing great. Gary's hanging in there. It's been a few days. It's the longest I've ever had a snail last. And like, and Andromeda, or Andy for short, doesn't seem to have any interest in doing anything to him, so he might just make it. Proud of you, Gary. And there's also a Marimo moss ball in there because I love them. They're pretty. So, yeah. Happy Pride, guys. Like I said, it's Pride Month. I'm gay, if you didn't know that. Married to a woman who's out with her coworkers right now. They went to an escape room and they're having drinks, so that's why I'm by myself. Happy Friday. I'm gonna go watch anime and eat my lunch bowl like a fucking grown adult. Ah! Have a great day, guys. I'm so sorry for this one. Bye.